Did you watch the Gucci Mane versus Jeezy Verzuz battle last night? Well, if you did, let's talk about it from the entrepreneur perspective.
I'ma get right in my bag. Why you gonna try to get mad? Everybody wanna keep up. Don't you know I move too fast?
Hey, what's up guys? It's your favorite entrepreneur here, Sierra Nicole, and I wanted to talk about the Verzuz battle. So I'm sure you guys have seen them. They're on Instagram. Certain artists go up against each other, hit for hit. But last night, there was a battle between Gucci Mane and Jeezy, and the internet has been blowing up about certain comments that were made, and I wanted to talk about this more from an entrepreneur and wealth building perspective. Now, there was a part or a segment in the battle where Gucci Mane talks about how he has, $10,000 worth of clothes on, and Jeezy comes back and says, well, I own half of Atlanta. Now, this has caused a lot of buzz on these internet streets, and I wanted to come on here and talk about it because I've seen actually a lot of negativity about Jeezy's comments about owning real estate, owning property, right? If you watch the battle, you'll see that Gucci Mane has said something about, bring Floyd up here, let's do a jewelry battle. And he said, well, no, let's do a real estate battle. Let's do a real estate versus. And so I wanted to come in here and talk about that mindset and that perspective. And it's not necessarily about owning literally 50% of Atlanta, because there has been a lot of backlash and controversy based on that statement, because he probably does not necessarily own exactly 50% of the real estate property in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, and I don't want to discredit Gucci Mane either, because I'm sure that he also has property, also has other assets, okay? But that is not necessarily the point. So like I said, there's been a lot of backlash, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I've seen all kinds of crazy comments clowning Jeezy, because when you go and look up his government name in the public records system, you'll see that he only owns 2 properties under his name. And so I wanted to use this as a teachable moment and to tell you guys about something called asset protection. Okay, so the ability to protect your assets, and the reason why so many celebrities and people of wealth utilize these strategies, and why you should be utilizing these strategies too as you pursue a wealth building and gaining more in life. Okay, we need to really take advantage of these strategies. Now, the reason why you most likely cannot find a lot of property in his government name is because of the fact that he likely does not own all of his assets that are paying him. So there is an old saying that the wealthy like to use, and it says, own nothing and control everything. Okay, own nothing and control everything. Now, don't let that go over your head. So the goal should not necessarily be to own everything, meaning your name is on the deed, your name is on the title, you own it. There are many different ways to have control or own property without necessarily owning it, okay? So when you have a business, you can have an LLC or a corporation. You can buy property under that business or that corporation. You control everything that happens within that entity, but the business owns the property. You can have it in a trust. A trust is going to allow you to be a little bit more anonymous when it comes to owning assets. And the reason why this is important is because, especially if you are of a certain celebrity status or a person of wealth, it's extremely important, because a lot of times we think, lawsuits will never happen to us, but lawsuits happen every single day. And you'll be surprised the reasons why someone can come and sue you or try to sue you. Especially in real estate, they say that it's not if you get sued, but it's when. Okay, so lawsuits are very prevalent. They say that one of the top 2 ways to gain sudden wealth in this country are insurance claims and lawsuits. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. So there are many different reasons why you and many other people within this country have to utilize these different strategies in order to protect their assets. Because if someone were to come and sue me, Sierra Nicole, and say I own all my assets under my name, someone were to come and sue me, all of that is now unprotected, and all of that is now a huge liability, because now they can come and seize my assets. But when you don't necessarily own your assets, when you have your business owning your assets, or if you have a trust owning your assets, that is something that you don't that you have more protection from. And now I'm not a lawyer and I'm not giving out legal advice, but from my knowledge and from my own personal experience and my connections with other people who do have a substantial amount of wealth, these are the strategies that they use. And so it's very important, especially for the Black community, to start being more educated on these topics. And also another point that I wanted to bring up, I think it's very interesting that people were going to go and look up the properties that he owns, but I don't see anyone looking up, you know, the prices for Gucci Mane's outfit, because he said his outfit was 10 grand. No one was going to go look up those prices. And so I wanted to bring up that point because it's important for us to start shifting our mindset. We are so quick to discredit a Black man who says something about owning real estate or having that type of wealth, right? But we think nothing of someone who has the clothes and the cars and the shoes. Now, don't get me wrong, they both, 10 times out of 10, they both have assets, they both have property, they both have wealth, okay? But you can see the difference a little bit within the mindsets. And I really wanted to bring that to light, especially within the Black community, that yes, it's okay to have the clothes, it's okay to have the cars, but the goal should be to have your assets pay for these luxuries out of your life. And so that should really be the focus. And it should not be surprising to see another Black man who is able to own properties and own land and own these type of assets, right? We shouldn't be so quick to discredit someone, discredit a Black man because of the fact that he's maybe, instead of bragging about clothes, is bragging about property. Like I said, I wanted to touch on that because of the fact that everyone is talking about it right now. And I think this is a very important or eye-opening, situation. Because like I said, it's okay to have the cars, the shoes, the clothes. We all want nice things, and it's definitely okay to enjoy the fruits of your labor while you're here. But the focus should be gaining assets that pay for that for you. So there are many different ways that you can get into real estate. One of the maybe lower barrier entry levels are learning how to wholesale, learning the market. There are other things that you can do, like fix and flips, right? You can have buy and holds. There are so many different avenues. If you don't have necessarily the money for it, you can always use your network to find private money, private lenders, meaning you're getting financing from someone who is outside of a traditional bank. You can do a joint venture with someone who has more experience than you and split the profit. There are so many different ways that you can get into real estate if you put the effort into finding this information. So it's absolutely obtainable for anyone. It's obtainable for you. You just have to be willing to put in the work and do a little bit of due diligence and education. But I think this is such an important point to take out of that versus battle that happened, because this is more about just music. This is more about, just rap videos or any beef that, any of them may have had. This is about the culture. And I think as a culture, we should be wanting to level up, right? We should be wanting to learn about real estate, and we should be wanting to have a real estate versus battle versus, talking about having a battle about who has the most jewelry or the most drip, right? We have to start thinking at a more elevated level. But that's just my thoughts on it. So I wanted to look at it, like I said, from a little bit more of an entrepreneur aspect. But let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. What do you think about what was said? And if you've seen any of the posts that have been happening online, let me know what you think about it down below in the comments. I'm very curious to see what your perspective is on this. And yeah, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and like this video, throw a comment down below. As you guys know, I'm always coming in with some amazing content to help you level up your mind, money, and your business. So this is your favorite entrepreneur here, Sierra Nicole, and I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one.
I'ma get right in my bag. Why you gonna try to get mad? Everybody wanna keep up. Don't you know I move too fast? I'ma zip right past. Drip.